6:45. This is Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. President Ranil Wickremesinghe focuses special attention on the Anuradhapura Sacred City Development Plan. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe says Sri Lanka will reach a positive economic growth next year. New tax imported on coconut oil. National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency says that the prices of fish would drop significantly soon. The government has implemented a special program to promote liquid milk production. In news overseas, thousands flee homes and hotels in roads in Greece as fires spread. And in sports news, the final ODI between Bangladesh and India ended up in a dramatic tie. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the local news. President Ranil Wickremesinghe focuses special attention on the Anuradhapura Sacred City Development Plan. At a meeting held in Anuradhapura yesterday, the President pledged to expedite the excavations at the Mahaviharya site under this plan. Mahasangha and relevant officials were present at this meeting. Chief incumbent of the Atamasthana, Venerable Pallegama Hemaratnanayaka Thera, pointed out the need to accelerate the development activities without harming the archaeological value of the sacred sites. The President pledged to complete the archaeological excavations within the next 25 years. State Minister of Finance Shehan Semasinghe says that the rapid and difficult reforms carried out by the government to maintain the financial discipline and transparency in the country are essential for a sustainable economy in the future. While addressing the 104th annual general meeting of the Colombo Rubber Trade Association recently, State Minister of Finance pointed out that the current economic reforms will not be reversed by any of the future governments. Implementing the Anti-Corruption Act to create transparency, the new Central Bank Act to enable Central Bank to make independent decisions, as well as the Bank's Special Provisions Act to protect the financial systems including the banks, depositors and their deposits, the economy is moving in a more reliable direction, the minister said. As a result, in the year 2024, Sri Lanka will reach an economic growth of 1.5 to 2.5%. He said. He further expressed confidence that Sri Lanka will be able to be free from its bankruptcy status by September this year. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siamlapity says that an import tax will be imposed on imported coconut oil with effect from this week. Speaking to the media yesterday, the minister said that this tax comes into effect with the aim of safeguarding the local coconut oil manufacturers. Minister Siambalapitiya further mentioned that the tax is likely to be 25 rupees per litre as already discussed. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. There will be a significant surge in the productivity and a remarkable increase in fish resources in the Sri Lankan waters from now until December, according to the National Aquatic Resource Research and Development Agency. The head of the Marine Biological Resources Division at NARA, Dr. R.P. Prabhat Krishantha Jayasinghe said that there has been a shortage of marine fish in the recent months. He attributed the scarcity of fish resources to the delayed southwestern monsoon, which had hindered the upwelling of cold, nutrient-rich water from beneath, which is essential to fertilize biological productivity in the Sri Lankan seas. Dr. Jayasinghe said the monsoons are rapidly approaching and this will bring about a significant change in the situation, adding that the marine environmental conditions can lead to a substantial shifts in the fish distribution and the density within a short time frame, which will have notable implications for the fishing abundance. Dr. Jayasinghe referred to the current high prices of fish in the market and assured that the prices would drop significantly with conditions changing in the seas. The Mahabali Authority says that there is a problem in providing water for cultivations in the Yala season as water levels of many tanks and reservoirs are decreasing due to the prevailing dry weather condition. Deputy Director General of the Authority, Nilantha Dhanapala, says that the Nachaduwa and Valawa zones are more difficult as express monsoonal rains has reduced significantly. Although the torrential downpours over the past few weeks brought much needed relief to several areas and the regions, observations are made that the water level in the tanks is slowly dropping to their minimum operating levels. State Minister of Livestock Development D.B. Herath says that people are interested in the production and consumption of liquid milk, and by supporting the liquid milk business, it has been feasible to boost the dairy farmers' economics and satisfy the country's need for protein. The minister also mentioned that the government has implemented a specific program to promote liquid milk production in the country. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. President Ranil Wickremesinghe focuses special attention on the Anuradhapura Sacred City Development Plan. State Minister Shaham Semasinghe says Sri Lanka will reach a positive economic growth next year. New tax on imported coconut oil. National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency says that the prices of fish would drop significantly soon. The government has implemented a special program to promote liquid milk production. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for this morning: despite the increase in the electricity tariff rates, the state-owned power supplier Ceylon Electricity Board has incurred a loss of nearly 30 billion rupees for the first 4 months of this year, according to the Mid-Year Fiscal Position Report 2023 of the Ministry of Financial Economic Stabilization and National Policy. Even though the electricity tariff has increased, the CEB incurred an operating loss of 29,797 million rupees in the first 4 months of the year 2023 due to the delayed tariff increase being inadequate to fully compensate for the significant increase in the generation cost, the report said. Also, the mid-year financial report states that due to the increase in the interest rates on the bank borrowings for the working capital requirements, the financial cost has to increase to 23,264 million rupees in the first 4 months of the year 2023 compared to 5,876 million rupees in the same period of the year 2022. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Washlai this morning, the Consumer Affairs Authority says that raids will be conducted continuously to apprehend traders who do not exhibit the prices of their goods. Chairman of the authority, Shantani Rialla, said that new rules will be implemented to protect the consumers. That came to you in Watchlight, and now let's move on to the headlines of the world news. Thousands flee homes and hotels in roads in Greece as fires spread. Russia says Crimea bridge closed after fuel depot hit. At least 22 dead and dozens trapped in the deadly Indian landslide. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the world news. Thousands of people have been evacuated from homes and hotels on the island of Rhodes, according to Greece's fire service. Private boats have joined the Greek Coast Guard in keeping to pick up people from the beaches on the east of the island. Greek Navy vessels are also reported to be heading to the area, which is popular for tourists. Greece's deputy fire chief said the fires on roads are the most difficult he is currently facing. A drone attack on the ammunition depot in Crimea has led to civilian evacuations and disrupted transport, Russian authorities have said. Sergei Akisnov, the Russian-installed governor of the occupied Crimea, said Ukraine was behind the attack without proving evidence. Mr. Akisnov said that local residents living within 5 kilometers of the blast were being evacuated. Rail services across Kerch Bridge have also reportedly been halted. 22 people have died and more than 100 are still trapped after a massive landslide hit a village in the western Indian state of Maharashtra. The landslide occurred in Aishalwadi village in the Raigad district last Wednesday and flattened several homes. Rescue efforts have resumed after they were halted on Thursday night due to heavy rain. Officials say that the disaster spot is located on a hilltop and the tough terrain is hindering the rescue operations. And that was the world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Vacancies for women from Deshakti Lanka for housemaids in Kuwait, Oman and Saudi Arabia for ages 23 to 58 years. Contact number 037 7500 500.
In development news, Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijayasekara says Gautam Adani gave commitment to complete the work on the 500 megawatt solar and wind power project in Mannar and Ponnarin by January in the year 2025. The minister said Mr. Adani gave the assurance during a meeting with a delegation led by President Ranil Wickremesinghe in India. He tweeted that MOUs on renewable energy cooperation and Trincomalee Energy Hub development were entered into during the visit, and the energy permit for Sampur Solar Park was also issued for the joint ventures between CEB and NTPC of India to commence work. And that was the development news.
Vacancies for women from Deshakti Lanka for housekeepers, home cooks, caretakers and home nurses in Kuwait, Oman, Saudi Arabia and Singapore for ages 23 to 57 years. Salaries starting from 156,000 rupees. Interviews with foreign agents are now on. Come whether you have a passport or not. Branches, Colombo, Kurunagala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 037 500 500.
Moving on to sports news, Bangladesh and India's one-day international series decider ended in a dramatic tie after time ran out before a super over could take place. Chasing 226 to win the series, India were bowled out for 225 in 49.3 overs. They were unhappy with Megan Singh being given out for the final wicket, with Captain Kaur calling the umpiring pathetic. Bangladesh made 225 for the loss of 4 wickets off their 50 overs, with Farzana Haq hitting his first ODI century. It was also Bangladesh's second highest total in ODI and ensured that they drew the series 1-1. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lankan firms should base their costs and wages on inflation expectations rather than the US dollar, Governor of the Central Bank Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe said amid wide recent fluctuations of the rupee to the dollar exchange rate. The central bank's anchor is an inflation target of 4 to 5%, which is achieved by altering interest rates to manage domestic demand, and the exchange rate is allowed to move, Governor Veerasinghe told a forum organized by the Chartered Financial Analyst Society in Sri Lanka. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news.
The program has been initiated to empower the economy of poor families in the rural areas. Measures will also be taken to introduce new types of production and to upgrade the market. Another objective is to create new employment opportunities for them. The government has allocated 2.7 million rupees for this initiative. And that was the economic news.
Weather report.
Finally, the weather report. Several spells of showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Galle and Matara districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. Strong winds about 60 km per hour can be expected at times on the western slopes of the Central Hills, the northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Monragala, Hambantota and Trincomalee districts. And before we conclude this bulletin, let's get back to the headlines once again. President Ranil Wickremesinghe focuses special attention on the Anuradhapura Sacred City Development Plan. State Minister Shahant Semasinghe says that Sri Lanka will reach a positive economic growth next year. New tax on imported coconut oil. National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency says the prices of fish would drop significantly soon. The government has implemented a special program to promote liquid milk production. In news overseas, thousands flee homes and hotels on roads in Greece as fires spread. And finally on sports news, the final ODI between Bangladesh and India ended up in a dramatic tie. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. Now it's back to your Sunday morning host and my good friend Shantima on the other side of the glass panel to brighten up your day.